Hi, welcome to the fourth video of the SpiralFlow Method of Joint Mobility series. On the last video we dealt with the shoulders, and today we're going to add a little more to that and also cover the elbows and the wrists as part of your program. On the shoulders last time we did one drill that we called the piston, and I want to elaborate a little more on that one. On the piston, as you may recall, we have the arm in front of us, totally straight, and then we're raising it up, raising the shoulder up, bringing it back, and as we do that, we're shifting the body weight back. Remember to maintain the rotation of the torso. Back, down, forward, up, back, down, forward, up, and you must make sure that you maintain good alignment on the front knee, that the front knee doesn't begin to buckle inward as such, but rather keep it straight. And then reverse it. Well, what I want to add to this is that we do this also with both hands, both arms in front of us. And now we're going to come up, back, down, dip the body, and create a wave coming from the hips as the arms rotate. So here, my shoulders are close, up as if I'm touching my ears, back as if my shoulder blades were touching, and down. And then reverse it. As such. Okay? So be sure to do both arms, not just one. It brings a different level of complexity to the drill when you bring in both arms, and also it demands more usage of the hip hinge in order to create a wave towards the shoulders. Another exercise for the shoulders that we need to do is a complete rotation of the shoulder in this fashion. So as in number 3 on the shoulder exercise here, the difference here is that we bring in the arm up, elbow as high back as we can, down, up, down, up, down, and also remember to rotate the wrist as you bring the elbow across, and then reverse it. In all of this, remember to keep the wrist so that it tracks your rib cage. And then do the other side. Now I'm sure that my fist is probably hitting the microphone, so you might hear some sounds there. So I'm avoiding keeping my arm right close to my rib cage, traveling up my sternum, which is what I want you to do. Keep it right up, going up the sternum, and then rotate, bring it back, down, forward, up, back, down, forward, and then reverse it. Back, up, down. As you're doing that with the elbows, notice how my body is still doing this rotation here. All the motion that is taking place on my shoulders is happening because of the interplay of my legs with the ground, my hips to my legs. And then we do both of them back. Normally when we expand, we'll inhale and exhale on the way down, and then reverse. Bring the elbows close to each other. Bring it right down the middle, and up, and down. Okay? All right, so now we're going to proceed to the elbow. The elbow is an interesting joint. It's a hinged joint, and it also has the place because there's 3 bones that are joined here on the elbow. You have the humerus, you have the radius, and you have the ulna. So when the radius and the ulna articulate, it's like a pivot joint, just like when the head rotates is a pivot joint, this is a pivot joint. But when we go up and close and open, it's a hinge joint. So we're doing a combination of pivoting and hinge joint at the same time. So you could just do this, but what I like you to do is to also rotate the palm as you are also rotating the elbow. So this way you have mobility in various planes at the same time. So just rather than doing this, which you could, like when you have a speed bag, you're hitting the speed bag like such, or sometimes like this, we want to do similar but rotate the palm as well. So we're here, and then back. So again, don't just rotate the arm, also rotate the wrist. So you have articulation in the joint itself, both in the hinge ability of the elbow and as well as the pivot articulation of the wrist, where the radius and the ulnar meet, as well as the location where they meet here in the elbow joint. Okay. The next one for the elbow is called servant teacup. Servant teacup, and this is drawn from one of the Chinese martial arts of Bagua, and it's a modified version of the original, so that it suits our purposes. Basically, I am going to pretend that I have a teacup in my hand, and I'm going to put it through a complete rotation and never spill it. So I'm going to keep my palm up all the time as I do this. Notice again how my body gets involved into the picture. It helps even better if you have your feet closer, you gyrate more. But sometimes stability may not be well, so you might want to open the legs a little. Notice how my palm stays up. The rotation here is causing articulation in this part of the joint. My elbow is moving across, and so is my shoulder. So it really addresses the entire arm. The wrist is getting motion, the elbow is getting motion, the shoulder is getting motion. So I'm going to get a cup and show you how we do it with a cup.